My GF came out as a lesbian before our marriage and no one gives an F about me. You know what? F you all. Me and my ex Dana have been together for 7 years, and I knew that she was bisexual by the beginning, and she openly told me about her past relationships with girls, but I never cared because it wasn't a problem at all. We never had any big fight or arguments, but just small things, and we always sorted out everything. So after 7 years of relationship, I decided that it was the right moment to make the big question because we were deeply in love, financially stable, and already living together, so for me, it was the right time. I prepared everything to make it more romantic and unique as I could, and when I made her the final question she hesitated, but then said yes. There the problem started because I didn't understood why that hesitation, and I asked her, but she only replied, "I was nervous, so I gave up." We told this to her parents. Mine died when I was 20 and my little sister when she was 17 in a car accident, and our friends, but even here some things were off because her parents were faking to be happy, and I didn't understood why while our friends were super happy and were already telling us ideas for our wedding. 4 months passed by and we were planning our wedding when the day came up. I came back home from work and she waiting for me with her bags ready, and I asked her what was going on. She told me, "Listen, I know that this is going to be hard for you, but I'm not bi, I'm lesbian. My parents knew this since 2 years, and this is why they weren't happy and were faking it. Please, I beg you to not make it difficult and just let me leave. Don't cry, don't beg me, and don't scream, let's just things go like adults." And then she drove away. I was standing there on my feet for like 1 hour in shock because I couldn't believe it. We passed by getting married to Dana coming out like a heartless and cold girl that I couldn't recognize. The worst thing comes now cause 3 months passed by that day. I canceled the wedding and literally no one ever texted me or called me asking me how I was, if I was fine, if I needed something, just nothing. Not her parents, not her, she blocked me that day, and not even our friends. No one gives a F about me at all. In this 3 months, I was hospitalized 3 times because I lost weight 15 kg and have insomnia. I just work and come home, nothing else. While everyone is praising her for her coming out, how good is she to finally realize she was lesbian, and her courage to be herself after years of fighting to find her true identity. Right now, I'm not even capable of being mad, I'm just in disbelief for what happened. How fast it all happened, and that no one gives a F about me because her coming out is more important than her ex. You know what? F them all, they showed me their true color, and F my ex. Top comments. Loud Management 634. She did not solve her problem like an adult. She avoided it and then ran away like a little kid. Deplorable. Behold me toast. You did nothing wrong, and that was incredibly selfish, cruel, and awful of her. As soon as she realized she was a lesbian, she should have broken it off. She wasted minimum of 2 years of your life that she knew for sure she was a lesbian, and she strung you along. Nothing makes that okay to do. It will get better. Give yourself the time you need to grieve and heal. Be kind to yourself. Treat yourself. Don't rush the healing. You'll be okay. Agile Weight 17571. I'm so sorry how you were deceived and how no one gave you any sympathy. For your own mental health, you need to put all of these people behind you. They are not going to give you what you need. It will be hard, but you need to start rebuilding a new life for yourself. You can do it. Update 1. So here we go again, like in GTA San Andreas, but this time is more painful and shocking at the same time cause today and yesterday night a lot happened. Like someone of you folks said, somehow one of my ex-friends saw my post on TikTok and the absolute mess started and is still going on right now. This ex-friend, I will call him Paul, reached out to me and basically told me that he saw the post and knew that it was me cause I used my ex real name Dana, and was shocked to know what really happened cause apparently Dana told my ex-friends that she came out to me as a lesbian, and I tried to lay hands on her and threatened her. And she told them to not contact me again. They all believed her, but then when they all saw my post, they started pressuring her if my post was saying the truth or not, and she admitted the lie. Since Paul's text, I received a ton of texts and calls from everyone asking me if I'm fine. They are sorry for believing Dana and not texting me first, and apologies. But then there is the real issue, Dana. She texted me asking to forgive her, that she was sorry for how bad she treated me, and admitting that she invented all cause she was afraid to lose friends. And unfortunately, it's not all cause I got a text from her girlfriend Mary, and basically she told me that she is sorry for Dana's behavior and for what she did, and here comes the issue, that she knew Dana since a year, and she never told her about me, but always talked to her about me like a raw mate, so she was thinking to leave Dana. Now comes my part, cause I made a new group, including them all, even Dana and Mary, and told them that I'm not changing my mind about forgiving them. I was thinking to sue Dana, partially true cause I'm not sure if doing it or not, and if they, my ex-friends, were decent humans, they would have texted me asking me if I was out of my mind to lay hands on Dana, or just insulting me via texts if they really cared about me. Then I added some personal things about Dana and blocked them all. My blocking method isn't working cause they are continuing to harass me with texts and calls from other numbers, and even making other people calling me and texting me. Crazy crap is happening, and I really still can't believe it all, this mess, cause I'm thinking that it's all a nightmare and I need to wake up, but unfortunately it's all true. Then the other thing is that finally I saw a therapist today a few hours ago, and I don't like to admit it, but I cried a lot cause for her, the therapist, I never worked on my parents and my sister's death, and then this thing with my ex added, making me explode, so it's gonna be a very long journey, and I hope to reach a point. I already had the number of the therapist there on my table in the kitchen, but never called, but this time I did, and hopefully it will help. So this is all, and I hope to update you not so quickly like now, but when I will feel better. So again, thank you all, and hopefully I will update you in better times. Postscript. To all the people that are following me, I want to say thank you, but my life is pretty boring, and I don't think to post something else, so you're not obligated to follow me. Then to the people that wrote me privately, thank you all, and be sure that I read all your messages, and I appreciate it, so thank you too. Top comments. Boomboxmaster. Normal people break up with their partner and tell everyone about it, and why then move on. Dana ghosts her BF and lies just because she was scared. Honestly, I would definitely sue for defamation, man. You have the evidence, and I don't think it could go wrong. What do her parents think? OP? I forgot to write this little part, but the quick resume is that I never had a good relationship with them, so we never went along well cause they always said that I wasn't the right guy for their daughter, so I never cared about them. But this time they asked me to think wisely and to not sue Dana cause she was afraid, and they even justified her actions. That's all, and in fact I wasn't surprised about their reaction to the news of marrying her. Max Zaddy. Damn. You were absolutely correct calling the ex-friends out, because yeah, any good friend would have called you out on problematic behavior, or at least been like, dude, what were you thinking? Also, there is not shame in crying. Good luck on your healing journey, and those folks can kick rocks. Edited to add, I would create a templates response for when folks message you and just copy-paste it. But it's funny how they had no problem ghosting you, but now can't accept you telling them to F off. Beginning fix 5609. OP, just change your phone number so your ex and toxic friends won't call you again. Focus on your healing, and I pray you find the happiness and love you deserve. Update 2. A month passed by my first post, and here I'm again. I know that I promised to be here again when things would be better, and I hoped for that very much, but unfortunately my life isn't better at all, and things are going always worse than I expected. I'm gonna talk like I talk with my therapist cause a little bit you all are like my therapist, hahaha. You know I'm not an expert of therapy and this things, and I hoped that in a short time things would change and would make me feel better, but it's more difficult and longer than I expected and imagined. I'm crying every day about all that happened to me, about my parents and my little sister premature death. what happened with Dana, and how my friends betrayed me so easily like I was just a random guy. The worst thing is about Dana. After my parents' death, I put all my attention and importance on her. She was like my promise to have a new family and start a new life together and be again a family. In all these years, I tried my best to make her feel loved, happy, and cared. What maybe don't transpires from my old posts is how much I loved her and how much I cared about her, cause Dana was the only person in this world that knew me 100%, and she was for real my soft spot. After my retirement from the army, she was the one that saw the real me. After those years risking my life, I still have some traumas, but I'm working even on that, and then I knew Dana, and it was love at the first sight. So yes, call me naive, that I still believe in the fairy tales, but I really thought that she was the one for me, and that could finally give me my dream of having a family that I lost. The worst and most difficult thing in this month was to finally change my number and start again. I mean, I thought many times to call her, text her, and even see her again, cause despise all this mess, I still, somehow, care and love her. But then I think again at how poorly and badly she treated me, and I change my mind, but her presence is still very present there in my mind. I still miss those little things that we were doing together. I miss Dana being messy and a little goofy around me and my house. I miss her touch. Coming back from work and just seeing her was like all my stress and bad emotions were gone in a second. But apart this, a few good things happened in this month, cause I got the promotion that I really craved for, even if I got it in the worst moment of my life. And my boss gave me 3 weeks of forced vacations cause he is worried about my mental health and how I work day and night without doing anything else. My therapist told me too to take a few weeks of vacations to clarify my thoughts, and that I'm watching for another house near my work cause my actual house isn't a positive environment, my therapist's words, and because I need a drastic change. So things are this, and unfortunately, I still have those suicidal thoughts, but I'm working on it even if again it will take time. So this everything, and I don't think to post anything else from now on cause I don't have anything else to say fortunately about my situation, if not thank you all for your support and private texts. So, people, thank you all, and hopefully even this period of my life will pass without creating too much damage. Postscript: my ex-friends never contacted me again, and Dana too, so I don't know anything about what is going on between them, and sincerely I don't care. Maybe. Top comments. Ugly Warlord: hey bud, I wish you well. I can only sympathize with your situation. However, from what I've seen on Reddit and the updates people give out, we see that people do find their happiness someday. Being low is something every person has to feel, and I guess it is a way to learn. Count it as a failure if you will. But then maybe as a person looking from an outside perspective, all I can see is new opportunities. If I were in your position, I would be hurt as much as you. But what I learned from my experience in failures over the time of my existence is that you may look back and think, what a fuss I made of my life over this. Hang in there and good luck. Cotton Candy Overlord, I'm sorry this happened to you. I actually had something similar myself. I unfortunately walked in on my ex-husband going at it on my best guy friend. I was crushed. I thought I would die. It took about a year to work past it for me. I did a lot of self-work. I went to school, got a degree, dated several people, and eventually found my current husband. We have been married for 12 years and have 3 kids now. I, too, lost nearly all of my friends. It was challenging being alone, but I made it. Both of my parents have been gone for many years, so I did go it alone. I took counseling and just kept looking forward to the day I felt better. I know this hurts. I know you miss her, but it will get better with time. Keep working on yourself. Find new hobbies and work on personal improvements. Throw out anything that was hers. She is essentially dead to you until you are healthy enough to confront her. You can MSG me if you need to vent. You got this. Update 3. I bumped into Mary yesterday. Hello people, don't worry, I'm still alive, ha ha ha. According to my therapist, I can use this little place to vent about my thoughts, the things that happens to me and updates about my life. So here I'm not very good with Reddit, so I hope to do things in the right way. Like I said in the title yesterday, I got a strange meeting with Mary, and it was a better meeting than I thought. So I was at this bar of my city, and I was in line to order when Mary recognized me and we had a talk. I offered her a cup of coffee and we chatted a bit about our life, how things are going and all this stuff. I must admit that she seems like a sweet and kind girl, and she immediately asked me if I was mad at her for what happened with Dana, but I assured her that she wasn't the problem at all cause she didn't knew about me as Dana's ex-BF, so she wasn't the problem. Mary said that I was much better now compared to almost 2 months ago, so she was happy about me. According to Mary, the day I made the group and blocked them all, she and Dana argued a lot, and they broke up. She told me again that she was extremely sorry for what happened and how this mess all happened, and that if she knew it before she would never had dated Dana before cause she have some values. We chatted for like 2 hours and we knew each other better. After we exchanged numbers, and she told me that if I needed to talk, vent or just rant about something with someone, she would be there for me. I appreciated it a lot, and then I went to my house. It was honestly a nice meeting and I wouldn't bet a cent on it, but it's nice to be wrong sometimes, ha. This apart my life since a few days seems to return to the normal. I didn't had suicidal thoughts since 2 weeks, and this is a great achievement to me, and actually my mental health finally is going better. In 3 days I would be in Japan for the 3 weeks vacation, and I hope to be good and to progress always with my mental health, so we will see. That's all, and I never told anyone my name, but I'm Clark. Peace and thank you all for your DMs. I'm starting to believe you and to appreciate your support. Next story. Am I overreacting that my wife did not wear her wedding ring multiple days in a row? For context, I 33M have been married to my wife 32F for a little less than a year. However, we have been in a stable, exclusive relationship for 10 years and have been living together for 8. She is the love of my life. She proposed to me about 6 years ago. I said yes, but we ended up having to postpone our wedding several times due to our school schedules, venue cancellations, etc. We have been wearing wedding bands ever since the proposal. 2 days ago, she came home from shopping and said that the cashier was hitting on her and possibly asked her out. I am not threatened by other men hitting on her, since our relationship has a very strong foundation and we usually find it comical. However, she mentioned that she did forget to wear her wedding band ring, and that's possibly why the cashier was flirtatious with her. Yesterday, we were planning on going to see a movie. As we were walking out the door, I noticed that she was not wearing her ring again. I asked in an admittedly not pleasant tone, "So do you not wear your wedding ring in public anymore?" She was kind of taken aback and said no, she just forgot to put it on and went and put it on before we left. The rest of the day, things were a bit tense, but we ended up seeing the movie and thought we enjoyed it. However, once we got back to the car, her attitude clearly shifted. I asked how she was doing, and she said, "I have a headache because of you." She then explained how she didn't appreciate me bringing up her not putting on her wedding ring, that she's human and made a mistake and forgot to put it on. I was just like, okay, that's fine. But then she continued, clearly upset, saying that she's an attractive woman and she can't help if people hit on her and ask her out. I was like, okay, that's true, but if she was wearing her ring, that would probably prevent people from asking her. She said that the cashier probably wouldn't have seen it and would have asked her out anyway, and that she as a person is not defined by whether she wears the ring or not. We drove home in mostly silence, but she did apologize that she snapped at me in the car, which I accepted. I want to emphasize that we do not have any previous trust issues, and I am in no way insinuating that she has been intentionally not wearing her ring. This is also the first time I noticed it, which I probably wouldn't have if she didn't mention her interactions with the cashier at the grocery store the day before. However, I am a bit startled by how defensive she got in the car and don't really know how to process what happened. I'd greatly appreciate it if y'all could share any insights you may have regarding your self partner not wearing wedding rings in public. Relevant comment. OP adds a small update. Actually had work to do, so stopped replying to most. I think many people missed the whole context of my post. How we've been wearing wedding bands for 6 years. Wedding was postponed due to our grad school schedules, and our first venue canceled on us. It's clear that I absolutely used the wrong tone wording when I asked her whether she doesn't wear the ring. I'm going to apologize for that right away. I've learned that most people don't wear their wedding bands. People keep talking about diamonds getting snagged, rings being bulky. This whole thing is regarding simple wedding bands. That being said, we never actually established how we felt about wearing the rings, and I have just assumed over the years that we both wore them equally. I'm going to ask what her feelings are towards the rings. I honestly didn't know that not wearing rings was so commonplace, and I'm actually not totally against wearing them less. I am still worried about her defensiveness. I strongly do believe and hope that this was a product of the poor way I treated her prior to leaving the house. If it's something else, we'll have to play it from there. Update. Wow, I never would have thought that this post would have blown up the way it did. I was amazed at the diversity of responses. I tried to read them all, but obviously that was impossible. Thank you to everyone that gave a thoughtful comment and site advice. There were many moving parts to the original post, and responses covered a wide array of topics. I ended up identifying the major themes of responses, while trying to ignore extreme responses on either side. My main takeaways were that my passive-aggressive comment at the start of the day was uncalled for, and likely overshadowed the rest of our date. This likely contributed to the tense and defensive word exchange later in the day. I also had no idea that so many married couples did not wear their wedding bands regularly, if at all. My parents never took their rings off, and I figured that's how it was with everyone. Clearly, that is not at all representative of the diverse array of ring-wearing standards across individual relationships and even individual spouses. Finally, I suppose I was naive thinking that wearing a wedding ring would deter people from hitting on my wife. When I was single, I would always double-check if there was a ring on someone's finger before pursuing. I think someone is a real boss if they knowingly hit on someone that's married. Okay, finally here's the update. My wife came home from work, I work from home, and we sat down for dinner. I started the conversation first by apologizing for my snarky question the day before. She said thank you and accepted. I then said that I was triggered hearing her tell me that she was hit on by the cashier, and her explaining that it may have been due to her not wearing her ring. She asked me whether I wanted her to tell me when people flirted with her. I said sure, but it's up to you. I assume that this happens frequently because she is so beautiful, etc. We hugged it out. I then asked that I was curious why she got so defensive in the car after the movie. She said she wasn't feeling great and that she didn't like me insinuating that it was her fault she got hit on, and that she sometimes forgets to put her ring on. I apologized again, and acknowledged that even though we have been together a decent amount of time, we never actually discussed what we wanted the value of our rings to represent. I actually suggested that I'd be okay wearing them less if that was more comfortable. She said that no, she wanted to still wear them out in public, just that I need to understand that people forget things like this and it's normal. End of story. We are on good terms, and she thanked me for bringing the topic up again so we could work things out together. Thanks again to this thread for sharing your diverse perspectives. Taken individually, a decent amount of comments weren't super helpful. But taken as a whole, clear trends were uncovered which I found incredibly useful. Special thanks to those who provided thorough responses and insights on their own marriage dynamics. Never thought this would have blown up, but I'm glad it did. I hope you guys liked this video. If you did, make sure like, comment, share, and subscribe the channel James Stories.